So in it comes the tRNA, bringing it along, and it brings in the amino acid, and it drops it off on the very end, and they hook up. And then it goes back out again, and it's out looking for another one of its amino acids. And then we move along again. And now we've got a CGG. So we're looking for amino acid GCC. Oh, here we go. Or sorry, not the amino acid, the tRNA. And it comes along, and it drops off its amino acid here on the end. Like that. And then it goes back out again looking for its one. And then we come along again. Now we've got a UUU, so we're looking for AAA. Yep. There we go. And then it comes, and it drops off its amino acid, and it hooks onto the end of the chain and goes back out again. And then we come along, and now we've got AGG. So we're looking for amino acid UCC. Okay, and it comes along with its amino acid, and it drops off right there. Boom. And now we've got UAA. So we're looking for amino acid G. Yeah, and this is it. Now this is a very special one because this is called the stop codon. So this is how it knows how to stop. So what happens is it drops on the end, boop, like this, and if the amino acid was closed, which there it is, there's our lid. Normally if the amino acid's closed and that stop one comes on, then it blows open and our protein can come out and go off and do what it needs to do. And so we've got a happy little protein here. And then this goes off and it gets disposed of, and the ribosome closes back up again and waits for its next message. And that's how they translate the mRNA into make a protein. But something very interesting can happen in our cells. As we know, Willy Wonka had lots of problems with children coming in and messing around with his stuff. So what would happen if, say we had children came in and they messed around with all this, 6, 7, and they changed this one here on the DNA, but we're not going to do it on the DNA because we know that they just make a message. So if they change the DNA number 7 from an A to a T, what would we find here instead of the U? Anybody know? No. If they changed it, what we would find is we would find another A. Right? So we'll just make that change right there. So we have another A. So now we're going to get a totally different message. So we know that this one's going to stay the same. The one that goes with the AUG, that one's going to stay the same there. But now, instead of having one that goes with the GUA, we need GAA. We need one looking for a GAA. Do we have anyone here looking for a GAA? Right here? There. Now that, that doesn't look like the original protein that we had now, does it? So is that going to work? Probably not going to work the way we want it to. So that's called a mutation. In fact, that's called a frame shift mutation. Sorry, that's the substitution mutation. That's different. Now what happens though, if the kids come along and they just totally take that part of the blueprint away. Now we have a frame shift mutation. So now what do we have? Now we've got our AUG. Now we've got to find one that's looking for a GAC. We have a GAC, looking for a GAC around here anywhere? Now, this one here looking for a GAC. And now we got one that's looking for a GGU. We have one looking for a GGU. Okay, looking for a GGU right there. Now we're looking really bad. Now we've got one that needs looking for a GGA. Sorry, UUA. Do we have anyone looking for a UUA? Right here. Looking for a UUA right there. Don't want that amino acid. And this all would be happening in the ribosomes, right? So UUA, now we got a GGU. Anyone looking for a GGU? Okay, here we go, right in there. Now we've got looking for an AAU. But we're at the end of our message. And we don't have our stop message yet. So what does that mean?
It's going to keep going.
It's going to keep going. It's not going to know when to stop. So that's a really bad mutation because that doesn't know what's going to happen. So that's what happens in the super secret, tiniest, little, most amazing factory in the world. There's secrecy. There's dedicated workers. There's secret ways of getting messages out by transcribing and then taking it onto the floor, into the factory's heart, and making the proteins and translating the message that comes through. So that's how everything happens in our super secret factory, and the mutations are why it took so long for Willy Wonka to bring the kids into his factory, because he didn't want any of this to happen to his proteins.